Welcome to the Caddo Convos, the podcast that explores the vibrant community of businesses thriving in Caddo Office Reimagined. We're here to shine a light on the incredible entrepreneurs and professionals who make the most of our private offices, co-working spaces, and day office rentals in the Dallas-Fort Worth suburbs. Join us as we share their stories, celebrate their successes, and dive into the benefits of working in a space that's close to home but offers so much more than working from home. Let's get started with today's conversation. Joining me today in the studio for Caddo Convos is my friend Brian Berkenbile of Oak Insurance. How you doing?
Hi. How are you?
Great to see you. I want to know everything about Oak Insurance. What is it? What do you do? And what sets you apart?
Great question. Oak Insurance is, I've been partners with the guys at Oak for about 8 years now. My history, as you know, has always been in processing. I ran the processing group and they ran the insurance group. And at that time, they focused on specialty premium finance for high net worth and ultra high net worth individuals. As you can imagine, with interest rates being as they are, that market kind of flipped. But all of us are entrepreneurs anyway. We are always looking for different opportunities. And when COVID happened, we found we had an opportunity that was brought to us, frankly, that FEMA was covering all of the costs for disinfection equipment for nonprofits. Because another business of ours had a lot of nonprofit business, we were approached by a company to place these. We found out working with FEMA what that was all about and what the different grants were and all those sorts of things, and found out, wow, there are a ton of different grants, et cetera, and different things that the government wants people to know about but doesn't know how. As COVID finally went away, and ever since then, we did a lot of work with a lot of really good nonprofits, Boys and Girls Clubs, Easter Seals, the bunch of different nonprofits that sort of are offshoots of those two, but those are our primary two. About 2 years ago, when the insurance market was obviously doing what it was doing, we discovered a new take on an old Section 125 insurance plan. Now, Section 125 insurance plan, it's like a cafeteria plan.
Okay,
a lot of people know about. It actually was around. It's been around since '78 when Congress passed a law to allow it, but it's gone through from '78 until Obamacare. You really didn't need it. When the Affordable Care Act happened, then all of a sudden the advent of the high deductible, low premium insurance came out. That really created a gap. So you hear about health savings accounts and people say, oh, is this Aflac or Gap Insurance and all these other things. It's a cafeteria plan. It's a supplemental insurance policy that, because of the indemnity benefits that this particular supplemental plan offers, the employers actually make money because it's paid for through all pre-tax deductions. An employer is going to make somewhere between $600 and $900 per employee per month. $600 to $900 per employee per year. The employee is going to net out basically a net zero from a cost perspective, but what they're going to get are true telemedicine benefits, 24 hours a day. They can call the doctor, which you and I both know. If you've got kids, that's a huge saver, and it's going to save you 85% of your doctor visits. Prescriptions, there's over 400 prescriptions that 100% covered. So what ends up happening is the employee gets all of the benefit, doesn't really cost them anything. The employer saves money, actually makes money out of it. And that's really that's why I got my insurance license, was this particular product. What we say is you cut your healthcare costs, boost your profits, and keep top talent, because those are the top three things that if you look at inflation over the last 25 years versus healthcare costs have more than doubled the rate of inflation. So now add tariffs, everything else in there. How do business owners survive? How do they make money? This is a way for most businesses to save at least 30% of their cost. I mean, to truly take 30% more to their bottom line. The size of the company does not matter. It's how many W-2 employees do you have? Yeah. That's it. That's the only thing that's concerning.
It sounds like this is a win-win-win. This is why you got into it, to service this. And that's rare, and a lot of people don't know about it.
Well, no, they don't. It's extremely rare. Yeah. Since 2020, it's happened. I mean, believe me, I've been looking. It's happened twice for me. Now, why is it so rare? It's simple, because there are 1,000 different cafeteria plans and just as many 125 plan or you might hear wellness plans, right? And then everybody goes out and they say, oh, it's free, it's free, it's free. Well, what people don't understand is it is really, really hard to sell free.
Interesting. Because
people look at you like you've got 4 eyeballs and they don't believe you.
Free seems worthless.
Free, well, yeah. It's not that it's worthless, especially when it's something like what we're talking about. When it's this,
they don't trust it.
They don't trust it.
They're like, there's a catch. Yeah. So a better way to say is free with there's like an asterisk. Everyone reads that as an asterisk.
Son ain't nothing free in this world.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Yeah. Let me walk you through how and why.
Great.
Right. There are a ton of articles that you'll find if you Google 125 plan, taxes, et cetera, you're going to find, oh, no, they're not legal, or the benefits are taxable and all of that fun stuff. And that is all accurate. It is 1,000% accurate. Around 2018, a lot of different people got together and said, hey, we're going to try to come up with this program that's going to take advantage of these tax laws. And one guy came out with one. They said, okay, well, that's good except for right here. Another guy said, okay, well, I'm going to create one. And, well, that's good except over here. And what you find is all these people are out here trying to basically build the same boat and except maybe rearrange the deck chairs on it. Well, what nobody figured out is it's not a boat at all. It's an airplane, right? You can't structure this boat any other way to make it work. And regardless of what you call it, it's still a boat, right? What you need is an airplane. In 2020, the company that we're working with on this got it approved at all state levels because it's a health indemnity plan. That's the big difference is it's the indemnity payment that pays the benefit, and that benefit is used up every single month. Therefore, the employee doesn't have to go back and say, oh, my gosh, if you don't know how an indemnity plan works.
That was my next question.
An indemnity plan, no different than if you go to the hospital, they're going to give you 5 days worth of hospital stay. They're going to give you $1,000 a day indemnity plan. So you get $5,000. That is typically done so that to reimburse you for out-of-pocket expenses that you incur while you're in the hospital. Right. So there's a problem with this program with the quote naysayers is that, well, this benefit's taxable and it's an excess benefit because you're not using it all. Well, no, that's actually not true because the way our program works is there's an app and inside the app, there are things that you do every single month that will then qualify you. And those are billable time. That's billable time and billable expenses back to the insurance company. They've got all their codes, their billing codes for that, so it qualifies. And that's the part people don't really grasp until you show it to them, right? Because there are so many different plans that do so many different things and make so many different claims that they just hope you just it's so and so. I'm gonna trust him and we're gonna do it. But this plan, it is unique. We spent well over a year researching it, 6 figures worth of attorney's fees, making sure that it was, the right thing. Not only is it legal, but it's also moral. It's also ethical. I don't ever want to sell somebody a product and then be worried about some guy in a windbreaker coming on my door 5 years down the road. Yep. But it was a unique thing that just sort of fell together because, number one, I had the experience dealing with FEMA once before. So I learned how to deal with, people doing good work, Boys and Girls Clubs, Easter seals. Those are two very dear things in my heart. But when you're able to explain it to them and walk them through the process and help them get there, we helped a lot of those companies stay around and provide those services for those kids when, nobody else could. And we took it seriously, and it was a labor of love. I'm not going to be a hypocrite. We did.
Sure.
We got paid,
Yep.
But this was the next project that really came out of that was, okay, we've looked at this every single possible way. It really does what it says it's going to do. And, that's the great thing about, what I do, whether it's processing, whether it's whatever. I'm not constrained to work with anybody. There's 25 of these companies out here.
Yeah.
I have my choice. This is the one that does it the right way. This is the one that makes it legal. So, or I keep saying legal. It makes it that does what it says in terms of the tax liability.
Who should be reaching out to you to learn more about this?
Any business owner.
Any business owner.
If you own a business, whether you've got 5 employees or 5,000, if they're W-2 employees, whether you pay for health insurance or not, and if you do, it's great. If you don't, that's fine too. They can still use the benefit. If you're self-insured, then that's even better. You're going to save about 3 times what most of them will. But no, any business owner like I said, 5 to 5,000 employees, this will save you, as I said, between $600 and $900 per employee.
Interesting. So, Brian, I'm interested. I'm a business owner out there. How do I get in touch with you, and where do we start?
It's simple. Brian at oakinsurancegroup.com. Put in the subject line 125 plan. What I'll do is I'll send you some marketing collateral. I'll also send you a link. That link will then allow you to book a 30-minute consultation with me where we're going to go through some pretty high-level concepts to walk you through the entire plan. At that point, then I'm going to send you a census. That census is actually going to be – it's completely HIPAA certified, so I'm not going to see any of the data, but it's going to be all about your employees in terms of what their payroll is and those types of things so that we can provide back to you within 48 hours a prescribed plan that says if you're on this plan, this is how much money you will save, period, full stop. It's this right here. At that point, we'll do a little deeper dive, right? We're going to do a much deeper dive. That's when we really get into, okay, what are the benefits, right? Tell me about this telemedicine a little bit. Tell me about the different prescriptions. What about mental health? Those types of things. Because typically what you find, if you've ever, I spent 25 years teaching people how to sell stuff. Most people, when they're presented an opportunity, it's very similar to, the salesperson, he's just going on and on and on. Just, and it does this and it does this and it's great and it's wonderful and it's amazing. That's very, very similar to, you remember the movie Armageddon?
Oh, yeah.
They're up with Bruce Willis, they're up in the space shuttle thing, and they got somebody on Earth set off the nuclear bomb, and it's starting to tick down and tick down and tick down, and then the music gets really tense. Then you got the guy over there going, do a good job, do a good job, do a good job, right?
When they're diffusing
and
it.
They're all arguing, and it's really, really stressful.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, it gets down to like 3, and they snip the wire.
Collective sigh. Yeah.
Everybody in the theater gets relieved. Everybody on screen. And that's very analogous to what we do because you're telling them all these great things and you're hearing that pressure build and that pressure build and that pressure build because what they're doing is they're saying, I do not want to like this because I don't know that I can buy it. I'm not going to let myself fall in love, whether you're buying a car, whether you're buying a service, whatever. I've got to come up with a reason not to do this because I don't want to let myself say it's okay. When we show you the census, that's the okay. So, all right, now that we've gotten that out of the way, tell me all the cool stuff this plan does. And then it's fall in love with it. Now it's easy to fall in love with it because you know what it's going to cost you, which is nothing. We even go so far as we're going to do 2 dry runs. It's all going to be done through our third-party administrator and your third-party benefits managers. So your HR department is not going to be strained by this. Nothing happens till somebody sells something, but there's a hell of a lot that happens when somebody does. Yeah, I mean, for the years and years, I was on the side of nothing happens till somebody sells something. But what you have to realize is that there's a whole lot that happens when somebody does, and it's that person you better be worried about. Well, in this case, it's the HR group. The HR group's not going to be encumbered by this because our people are going to come in. They're going to work with your company's third-party benefits administrator. We're going to handle all of it. We're going to make 2 dry runs on your payroll so we can make sure and verify all the glitches, have gone through. You're going to see the impact before anything happens. Once we see that, then we're golden. Then money actually changes hands.
Yeah. Wow. So that is a lot of, I'd say, discovery, as in for a business owner, you have so many concerns, but it looks like you're putting a lot out there to get ahead of those concerns, answer the concerns, and then test it. And that's the trick, is they don't have to learn by doing. That's being done for them, and the implementation is after everything's already, any of the ruffles are worked out.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, especially in the larger companies, when you've got 5, 6, 8,000 employees, now we're talking about a few $1,000,000 a year. Hold on, time out. Now the CFO's ears perked up. Yep. And now it's all right. Now I really don't want to fall in love, because now not only is it, this could cost me my job if I sign off on this, right? So what we do for that is, and we do it for the smaller ones as well, but we actually took out and created a wrapper policy through Lloyd's of London. Now,
why? Yeah.
For the one person that says, I don't care how many times you tell me, I do not believe this is not taxable, and there's nothing you're going to tell me otherwise. Okay. Look, the IRS is not going to say, hey, we are not doing this, right? George Bush Sr., mark my words, no new taxes, taught everybody that lesson. Mm-hmm. Don't ever say anything in absolute terms. Right? They're never going to say, no, absolutely not. It's not going to happen. Although we did get an IRS letter ruling and private memo back in June that said, no, these are not taxable. Now, why would you get that policy well, Brian, hold on a minute. You just got finished telling me and swearing to me up and down that there's no way they're taxable. Well, that's true. If you want that additional protection, because listen, every 4 years we have elections.
Laws change. Yep. Laws
right?
change. Goals change.
You can get a policy today. It takes you through. It'll take you 7 years. So if there's a lot of changes. If you don't believe me that things change in 6 months, before the election and after the election has been a pretty dramatic shift. The guy before and the guy now have a whole different way of looking at taxes. Yep. So it exists. What happens with that policy is, hey, if in fact you do get the IRS agent who says, you know what, I don't believe it, I'm going to make my reputation by taking you down. Whether he's right or not doesn't matter. He wants the headlines, right? I'm going to stake my reputation on whether or not I can make this happen. Here's the great part. Go for it, dude. Here, we got audited, and you say I owe this much money? Wonderful. Hey, Lloyd's, got audited. Here's my bill. They say, no problem, sir. We will take care of it. They write the check, and now Lloyd's is the aggrieved party. They go after it. You're out of it. Doesn't matter. So either way, there is not a way for you to lose by taking out this policy. That's true. And that's the crazy part about it all. Yeah. And I've just been fortunate in my life to have come up with 2 of them.
Yeah. You and I are both Caddo members. You're here at Caddo Prosper. Tell me why you chose Caddo for your home base of operations.
Well, home has a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
I'm 3 miles from the house.
Yeah.
I've got 2 young kids, two grandchildren actually.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
In the house that are a little bit loud. I do have a home office. Yeah. But I I like home to be home and office to be office. When I leave the office, I don't want to have to work. And when I'm at home, I don't want to work when I'm at home, and I don't want to relax when I'm at the office. Office is work time. And that's what I love about it. I mean, the staff here is amazing. Sandy and the folks that take care of us, I mean, they do a great job. There's a bit of a social aspect to it. I mean, when you're self-employed, like we are, you tend to become a loner pretty. I mean, I've managed. I've been in charge of a couple hundred people at a time, and you're never lacking somebody to talk to in that case. Sometimes it gets lonely, right? But there's some other groups. There's some other guys up here that it's become. There's a bit of camaraderie there that I really enjoy.
That's terrific.
But honestly, it's more about the staff than anything.
Yeah.
These guys are great.
Yep. It's the people. For people that want to contact you, you mentioned, what to put in the subject line. So let's just go over that again, because I know there's a lot of interesting things here for business owners, a lot of potential, a lot of wins. Sure. But first, they've got to reach out to you. So let's go over that one more time.
It's BrianOakInsuranceGroup.com.
Gotcha.
BRIAN at oak like an oak tree, insurancegroup.com.
Excellent. And the subject line, put in
125 plan.
Thank you for joining us today on the Caddo Convos podcast. A huge shout out to our incredible network of members for making our community vibrant and supportive. If you're looking to boost your productivity and reduce the isolation of working from home, consider joining us at Caddo Office Reimagine. Our spaces are designed to meet your evolving needs, support remote work, and foster a sense of community that's hard to find at home. Whether you're a startup aiming for growth, a freelancer seeking a professional setting, or a company looking to optimize resources, Caddo offers a perfect blend of flexibility and innovation. By joining us, you'll be a part of a dynamic business ecosystem that helps you thrive. For more information, visit caddooffices.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time on Caddo Convos.